everyone. Welcome back to the Inner Edge Leadership series, where insight meets action. Today we are talking about something every one of us does 50 times a day, and most of us have never actually been trained to do well. Communicating clearly. Here's a question for you. Have you ever delegated a task to a team member who nodded along, sounded genuinely excited about the opportunity, and clearly acknowledged that they understood, only to find later that the task doesn't get done, gets delayed, or comes back needing several rounds of review and rework? And you're left wondering, where did the misalignment actually happen? I have, more than once, and it taught me something I want to share with you today. Early in my career, I was asked to walk a leadership team through a new coaching framework we had built for their managers. I was proud of the work. I'd done my research, I had the model, I had the slides, and I was determined to show the depth of thinking behind it. So, I did what I thought was good preparation looked like. I packed in every layer. The theory behind it, the terminology, the nuances, the caveats, and so on. 15 minutes in, I looked up. Very few leaders were nodding. Most of them were looking at their notebooks or their phones or each other. Thankfully, one of the senior leaders finally stopped me and said, "Shanti, this sounds useful, but I have no idea what you want my managers to do differently on Monday morning." I remember my face go warm, not because he was unkind, he wasn't, but because he was right. I had communicated everything I knew, and I had communicated almost nothing they needed. That was the moment I learned that clarity isn't about how much you say. It is about how little stands between your thought and their understanding. I had mistaken toughness for clarity and confidence for the volume of detail. I'm sure you now know they are not the same. I went back home that evening and cut the entire session down to 3 ideas, one simple action for Monday morning. And the second version landed completely differently. Same content, same person delivering it, but this time they could actually use it. We live in a world where everyone is communicating constantly. Emails, messages, updates, reviews, town halls. And yet, so much of it doesn't land. Not because people aren't smart or well-intentioned, but because we confuse output with clarity. We say more hoping something in there will land, stick. But our team doesn't need us to say more. They need us to say it in a way that removes doubt, builds confidence, and makes the next step very, very obvious. So how do you actually get better at this? I want to share a simple framework that I use, and I call it CLEAR. CLEAR, the CLEAR framework. C stands for context first. Before you get to the message, give people the why. What's changed? What's at stake? Why this matters to them? People absorb the information faster once they know where it fits. L for language that the listener understands. Match your words to your audience, not to your own comfort with the subject. If you need jargon to sound credible, you haven't simplified it enough yet. E, engage, don't explain. Communication is not a one-way broadcast. Pause, ask a question, invite a reaction. The moment people participate, they start listening differently. A, ask to confirm understanding. Don't just assume clarity. Check for it. What's your understanding of what we just agreed tells you in seconds whether your message actually landed. R, read the room. Repeat what matters. Watch faces, not just words, and repeat the one thing you most need remembered. At the beginning, during the meeting, at the close, repetition isn't redundancy. It's how key messages survive a busy day. One of the clearest examples of communication as a discipline not as a talent, comes from Amazon. In 2004, Jeff Bezos made a very unusual decision. He banned PowerPoint from his meetings. In its place, every meeting now opens with a 6-page narrative memo written in full sentences, not bullet points. The room spends the first 20 to 30 minutes reading the narrative in silence before any discussion begins. Bezos' reasoning was simple. Bullet points lets you gloss over the gaps in your thinking. A well-structured narrative doesn't. If your logic is weak, writing it out in full sentences exposes that to you immediately before it reaches the room. His often quoted line captures it so well. There is no way to write a 6-page narratively structured memo and not have a clear thinking. The lesson for us isn't that every leader needs a 6-page memo. It is that clarity is not a personality trait that someone is born with. It is a discipline that you build one edit at a time by forcing yourself to say less, better. Clear communication isn't a soft skill on the side of leadership. It is a direct line to performance, to trust, and the bottom line. Here are some data and numbers as evidence. Pause the video here to read them thoroughly. The pattern is consistent. Leaders who communicate with clarity don't just avoid confusion. They move faster, build more trust, and get better outcomes with the exact same ideas. So, the 3 things you can do this week to take a first step at getting better at communicating are: 1. Before your next important message, write down the single most important sentence you need the other person to walk away with. If you can't write that sentence, you're not ready to send the message yet. 2. In your next meeting, stop at least once and ask, what's everyone's understanding of what we are discussing or what we just decided? Notice how much variation shows up and close the gap immediately on the spot. 3. Take one email or message you're about to send this week and cut it by a third. You heard it right, by a third. Notice what you get. That's usually what mattered most. Clarity is a form of respect. When you communicate clearly, you're telling the other person, I've done the work of thinking this through, so you don't have to guess. So here's what I want to leave you with today. The next time you're about to speak or write something important, ask yourself, am I communicating to be understood or am I communicating to sound thorough? I'm sure you already know that they are not the same. This has been the Inner Edge episode 8. If this episode gave you something useful, share it with a leader in your life who needs to hear it today. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.